So, ladies and gentlemen, today's video is going to be a review on the titanium flux 125, the easy welder, you know, the one you can use at home, you know. Okay, so we'll get into the main reason that I bought this welder. Probably need to come back over here. So they had this welder and then the Chicago 125. So we was at Harbor Freight and I said, well, I'll just get the Chicago. You know, they're alright welders. You know, I'll just get it and, you know, piddle around and learn on it. And then I started looking at the features. You know, this one had a longer duty cycle, had more amps, because usually they're like the 90 amp ones, had more amps, and had the, I guess you'd call these infinity knobs, because you can go from 5 to just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, you know, infinity knobs. And then the Chicago, it had just the minimum and maximum on the volts. You see right here, these is the volts. It'll go all the way up to J. And I'll open her up. I just put a new spool of wire on there today. So yeah. It's got the thickness of metal. You know, it's got the chart right there where it can go to a you know, it can go all the way to 20 gauge, all the way up to 3/16, which it can go down to 1 millimeter, as you can see right there, all the way up to 4.8 millimeters. So yeah. And then the wire, it's pretty cheap. And one thing I will recommend on the titanium is get a different ground clamp. Because look at this one. I just changed this ground clamp the other day. Look. It's already like off center, and all I'd do is I'd have it clipped to the end of the you know, the end of the table. That's all I had it, always on the end of the table. So I recommend one of these big boys. You know, got some chomps on it, and then I like the end of it because it's got, you know, and it's got the copper mesh back here. It's all connected real good. Well, I'll just put it back up here on the table because I'm done welding on this. I'll show you this real quick. I made a handle for the old welding part. Now this is a Chicago part, but you can just be quiet. Took 2 pieces of rebar and welded it to the side. You know, here and on the top and the bottom. And then I took this piece of flat bar and, you know, welded it to it, under it and stuff, you know. I just did that. That was my tack. You know, I tacked it up here in this hole. And another thing I like about the titanium is this is the plug for it. I need to get that thing off of it. It's a, you know, regular household voltage. You know, your 110 or, you know, it's a 120 plug, but you know it runs off 110. But I'm just gonna call it 120. So it runs off of your you know, your household voltage, your 120, and you know, it's a pretty good little welder. It does up to 3/16 metal, which is, you know, it's pretty good stuff for, you know, around the house. You know, nothing, you're not going to be doing no commercial stuff where your metal's like that thick. And, another thing I like about it is, come over here to, this roller, and you twist it this way. Well, you twist it some way and you get this top piece off. Bruh. Come on, come off. Please, just for me. For the sake of the video, please. Oh, it's got wire in there. But, poop. Okay, but this roller in here, oh, I bent the wire. Like you can see, it's got those 2 slots in it. It can go for 030 and, poop. You can go for 030 and 035 wire. Which 035, it's, you know, it'll run better with a little bit thicker stuff. If you're gonna go to, you know, just a little bit thicker than what it recommends, I believe this thing, I mean, it manages its power. It don't pop the breaker every time you just sit there, and I could literally sit here, just hold it, just get a big old piece of, I don't know, find something to use for an example. This thing. No, not that thing. This thing. I could sit here for a little bit and just spot right on that, just, right there. Not on the edge, right in the middle. Sorry, thing won't pop the breaker. Manages its power real well. That's the one thing I like about it. Well, I like a lot about it. But, let's take this back down here. I'll show you something about this, this welding gun. So, it's your standard welding gun that comes with most of these types of welders. And, so, one thing I really do like is this copper, how it sticks out, and it's really easy to clean, because it's if there's a little bit of spatter on there, you can just go with your pair of pliers and just clean it off. And oh, another feature I would like to show you is when you're changing the wire. I don't know if you can see this little switch. You can hear me clicking it. When you're changing out your spool of wire, you don't have to use the gun and the regular settings up here. You can press that switch, and I mean, it goes into hyperdrive faster than a cheetah on cocaine. It spits that wire out there. Not even gonna lie. So, I would recommend, if you go to Harbor Freight and get this, I would recommend get an auto darkening helmet. Cheapest one there. You don't have to get the cheapest one. I was just, I just had to get one. And chip and hammer of any sorts. It don't have to be, wood handled, be metal, be the ones at Harbor Freight, for that matter. And this is my great Papa's, Papa George. It's his. And I recommend a really good water brush. I recommend a water brush. Got mine customized. Got the water brush on there. And, I got it customized where I can hang it on one of these loops. I recommend a good set of gloves. I like these just leather gloves. They're thinner. They're a little bit thinner so I can feel what I'm doing better. And then I recommend an angle grinder. Get off of there, you heathen. Of course, the cord's got to be under that wheel. But I recommend an angle grinder. I know I got to change this. Don't be telling me that. Angle grinder, that's really good. If you're going to do any metal work, I'm serious, you need to get an angle grinder. And then another thing I recommend, if it'll reach over here. Oh, I don't think it'll do it. One second. Let me do some minor adjustments. I recommend a bench grinder, because there's just so many things you can do with a bench grinder. And, you don't have to take a little, let me get me a piece of metal real quick. You don't have to take this little, this, just a little piece that would take, a few minutes to do on the bench grinder. You don't have to take your angle grinder and clamp it down and grind on it. And you have both hands on the piece of metal. Here, I'll show you. You have both hands on the piece of metal while I'm holding the video taping device. You have both hands. You can control it real good. You don't have to use the angle grinder. So that's some of the stuff I recommend. I recommend some C-clamps. I found this one in my honey hole where I find all my scrap metal. And I recommend some C-clamps. And you can't go wrong with a good set of vice grips. Don't have to be these ones, but I'd get some of those vice grips. I don't know why I got these mini ones, but for little stuff. Get you some of these because they got more of a depth. They can go in here, I'll show you. Get you a set of these. They can go into the table and grip onto stuff that's more in there. Get you a good set of these long nose outfits. So it can, these long nose ones, they'll get good depth in there too. I'll show you. These long nose outfits will get depth in there real good, and they'll get a real good bite on them. Another thing I do recommend is a a mic. We call these mics, or I call them a mic. They're a caliper to tell you the thickness of your metal, so you're iffy about welding something. And you just look on your handy dandy chart that old titanium includes on the inside of the inside of this thing, and you just go by the millimeters. And get you one of these that says inch and millimeter. Then you just do the thickness of it. Say it's 14 gauge, 2 millimeter. Oh, I can weld that. 1/8. Oh, 3.2 millimeter, or in that area. It'll go up from anywhere from 1 millimeter to 4.8. I just rounded on up to 5 if I was yens, because I think it'll do 5. I'm not even kidding. I think it'll do 5 millimeter stuff. But don't tell nobody. So yeah, you can just do that. You got all your settings in here. It's a real good thing. Like, if you just, you don't have to guess on your voltage. Well, this and go that, and then you blow a hole through it, and then too much current because the wire's going out too fast. Yeah, that's what the wire does. It's for current, and it feeds the wire faster. Just to let you know. And it's got real good instructions. And look at this: 3/16, 10. Oh crap! I don't think you're even supposed to do this on here. 10 and F5.5. Alrighty. But look at this. F5.5, I'm done. F.5 and 10. Look at this. But it can go to G, H, I, and J. So I believe it'll do a little bit, whatever's the next one. 3/16, I think 3/4? I think it'll do 3/4 inch stuff. Or, I don't know, maybe 3/8. 3/8, I think. I think it'll do 3/8. So, yeah. So, I recommend a welding hat. If y'all don't know what this flap is, it ain't just for looks. Whew. Gosh, everybody wearing around like this. I'm a welder. I welded 3.5 times in my life. I'm a welder. That's how I was. I don't really classify myself as a welder. I'm just a dude that, got a welder and he just builds stuff with it. I'm not certified because at the high school they was too full at the welding. Like, you serious? Too full, and there's 3 people shows up in your class because of this stupid virus. Gosh. So I recommend one of these so you can flip it around, and this flap goes over your neck so your neck does not get burned. Because, nothing's worse. And and see, here, I'll show you an example. So if a metal comes up, hits right under, it rolls off, and if you keep it over the back of your shirt, it'll roll right down off onto the floor. Because you don't want to have it up and then just, be doing looks and piping that, stick welding, MIG welding, doing whatever. Piping that thing. And a piece of not slag. Yeah, if you're chipping the slag, it'll come off on you. Piece of something, metal, one of them sparks flies up and hits you in the back of the neck. That makes me want to cry. I'm not even kidding. It hurts bad. So, that's just a little video. Posted 3 videos. And, I'm trying to pump out more content for the 27 people that watch my stuff. And, I would recommend, if you don't live on a farm, where, your papa or dad or somebody has collected scrap metal over the eons of time they've been on this earth. I don't know where to even go to find scrap metal. There's places around here in Morgan County, Kentucky. Yeah, come on. That they sell scrap metal, so just get you some scrap metal and just start practicing your welding on it. That's really all I recommend. And then once you go from there, get your tools you need to be a fabricator. So there's just really not. I'm kind of venting to you guys right now. I'm sorry if this gets a little long. There's a nice titanium at Harbor Freight. $750. Does everything. TIG, MIG, stick. You can run flux core, of course. And dual voltage, so it'll go on your stove. Your stove, which is 240. stove plug. That's what I always call them, stove plug. And it'll go on your regular household plug, the 120. And it does everything, so you can do everything with it. So, in the next video, which I don't know if it'll be tomorrow, hopefully it will. In the next video, I'm going to do some welding, run a couple beads. I'm not that good at welding. I mean, I've had this welder since October, and it is now December. 2 months or so. But I've come a long way. I've got projects and stuff. So, yeah, I guess I'll end that video, or this video right now. Just want to, tell yous later. And if I don't see you, and it's after Christmas when I post again, I wish yous a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. And a Happy New Year. And don't forget the reason for the season of Christmas. Lord and Savior Jesus Christ died for us. He died for us, but, Christmas was the day he was born. He shed his blood for our sins, so just keep that in mind. Keep me in your prayers, even if I don't need them. Thank you much. I'll keep you in mind.